First, let's find out how much all 4 years of college will cost. We're told tuition is $18,000 in year 18. We're then told that tuition grows 6% per year for the following 3 years. So, tuition in year 19 is going to be the $18,000 that it was in year 18 times 1.06 for a 6% growth. And we'll get a tuition in year 19 of $19,080. In year 20, that $19,000 grows again by 6%, so we multiply it by 1.06, and we get $20,224.80. And finally, in year 21, we grow that tuition amount once more by 6%, and tuition in year 21 is going to be $21,438.29. So now let's find the value of all of these tuition payments in a single year. Let's use year 18, since that's when the first tuition payment occurs. So we're going to use our cash flow register in order to find the present value of all 4 of these payments, since they're different numbers. It's easier to use the cash flow register than it is to make an annuity out of it. So the first cash flow is going to be in year 18, and it's going to be $18,000. The next one in year 19 is the $19,080. Then the $20,224, and finally the $21,438. The effective annual interest rate is given in the question as 9.25%, so we enter that in to the interest per year button. Now we can solve for the net present value, which is going to be in year 18, since that's the first cash flow we put in. And we find that the present value of all 4 of those tuition payments, so the present value of the cost of the education, is $68,850.43. So our account must have exactly this much money in it in year 18 in order for us to meet the payments for the entire college. Now let's look at a time chart and see what's going on here. We're told the current balance today in year 10 of our investment plan is $17,825.50. That's just how much money we have in it already. We're also going to make 8 payments starting today in year 10 and ending in year 17. We don't know what these payments are. This is what we're trying to find, is what the question asks. Our account must have $68,850.43 in year 18 to fully pay for college. That's the amount we just found. And so that has to be what our account is worth in year 18. So since the $17,825 occurs the day of the first payment, and the $68,850 occurs one day after the last payment, these 8 payments actually constitute an annuity due. And we can just see that again by looking at this time chart. In an annuity due, the first date, the present, is the date at which the first payment begins. So we can see, since the first payment begins in 10, when you consider the present under an annuity due, the present value is going to be in that period 10, and that's good because we have that $17,825 in period 10. And the future value, if we were to put this annuity into our calculator and calculate the future value of an annuity due, the last period, the future value, is going to be in one period after the last payment. And we can see the $68,000 is one period after the last payment. So this is good. All of our cash flows are lined up. To solve this payment, we can just input all the numbers as an annuity due and solve for the payment. That's exactly what we're going to do. So first we need to change our calculator to begin mode, since we're dealing with an annuity due. This is the way we tell our calculator that the first payment of the annuity occurs at the present, the beginning of the first period. So there are 8 payments, so we input 8 in for n. The effective interest rate is given as 9.25% per year, so we put that into our interest per year. The present value is the $17,825. And the future value is the $68,860. So we enter that one as a negative number because we can think of the $17,825 today as what we have for ourselves, and the $68,850 is what we're going to pay for tuition. So that's going to be a cash outflow. Now we can solve for the payment amount, and we just press payment, and we see that these 8 payments must be $2,687.48 in order for us to make all of the tuition payments on time exactly.